Hey guys, it's your girl ZO-ESHAAA and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for joining me for another week of my 90-day Fiance Happily Ever After review slash recap. I'm kind of sick. Well, I'm sick, so please bear with me and my voice. And that's another reason as to why this video is a day late. If you're following me on any other social media, well, Instagram is the only place that I actually announced it, was that I was sick, so I wasn't going to be able to have the video uploaded yesterday. I apologize, and I will be back on track for next week. Hopefully I get better, which I am not. So by next week, hopefully this sickness is gone. But without further ado, let's jump on right into the recap. I'm super excited to talk about this episode because I feel like so many things happened and so many things are about to happen. So let's go. Anyways, first couple that I saw this episode was David and Annie. Now, girl, David and Annie, whoa, nobody told me that Annie had such an attitude. Like, the amount of curse words, the amount of eye rolls, the amount of everything that I seen from Annie this episode. Like, who knew Annie had all of that in her? I just thought Annie was like the sweetest, nicest, like, not saying that she's not, but I just honestly thought that, you know what I mean? Like, she was just super quiet, super sweet. Annie, girl, no. Which, I mean, obviously, if you poke a bear, you know what I'm saying, or if you know, bother somebody or irritate somebody enough, you're gonna get a reaction out of them. But like, I mean, okay, so in this episode, David's sister visits and meets Annie for the first time or whatever, and you know, they're talking and stuff, and then they're talking to David about what he's trying to do in life. You know, like, I'm really happy like she was there, because it's, I don't know, I feel like it's not even gonna help the situation, because you can obviously tell that David is just not serious about life. Like, how do you mean what you don't know what type of job it is that you can do? I don't have any words. Like, I don't have any words. You are 40, what is he, 49? 49, 40, 52, 49, whatever, how old he, 49. What? Like, what? Like, go get a job. If you cannot get a job in your career field, go lower down the ladder or go somewhere else. But at this point, you cannot be so picky. You cannot really be too caring in regards to what it is that you're doing. Like, you have rent to pay, you have a wife to take care of, you have children, you have grandchildren. Like, you came to the country with literally little to no savings, brought a whole human being to this country saying that you were gonna take care of her, and it's been 6 months and you still don't have a job. But there have been other couples on the show who made sure that when they were bringing somebody over, they were able to take care of their responsibilities. You get what I'm saying? And like, it's different in this situation because it's a male that brought a female over here. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the male is supposed to be the head of the household, the supporter. Like, you I'm super sorry, you guys, sorry. But yeah, he's supposed to be the male of the household, the supporter, not necessarily the breadwinner, but you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to go to your husband and know that he's there to support you and take care of you. And Annie don't have that. Like, it's a damn shame. And I'm just super happy that the sister said no. Like, first of all, how are you gonna, okay, your sister is here to visit after how many years? And the first thing that you're gonna do is ask your sister for some money. Like, granted, you need it, okay, whatever, but this, I'm super happy that she said no to the loan, because now I hope this puts like a fire up his ass and makes sure that he knows, like, all right, I'm running out of who I can ask for money, and I really need to do what the hell it is that I need to do. It's either that or Annie's just gonna run off and find somebody else, because if Annie has sense, like, she would just understand and know, like, there is really nothing else here. Like, you don't marry somebody for what they can give to you or what they can necessarily do for you. You marry somebody because you see yourself spending the rest of your life with that person, and you obviously love them, and you know what I mean, you enjoy their company, you can't see yourself without them, that type of stuff. Yes, but however, like, I don't know, they're both wrong because oh my god, they're just oh god, like how did they make it how did they make it to happily ever after? Like how like why, who voted for them? Like who? The part of the episode that I really liked was when they were all at dinner. This was David, Annie, the sister, and the daughter Ashley. They were all at dinner, and Annie was like, they were talking about the sister loving to watch the kids and whatever, and Annie was like, so you're gonna watch my kids? And they were like, your kids? Like, wait, who? This man ain't having no kids. He's 49, he had a vasectomy, he don't have no money to be paying no rent. Like, what are you thinking about having kids? Like, first of all, how are you getting the money to have the vasectomy? How you guys aren't gonna be living somewhere next episode, so how are you, where, like, what? How does that make any sense? But, and like Annie's whole reaction to it, like, you cannot be so stand up, like you can't be so irritated when somebody's like picking your brain and asking you questions. Like, yes, you can be like, all right, like this is getting a little bit too personal, I want to change the topic. But for you to just get up and storm out, like, honey, I'm telling you, Annie, like, I'm seeing a whole new side of her. I'm just like, where this girl come from? But I rated Ashley for going out and talking to her, because I did not expect that from Ashley. Like, I really and truly did not expect her to go out and talk to her and be the one to, you know, like, bring her back in and make sure she was comfortable. But I love the fact that they're starting to work on their relationship, because I really feel like in order for everything to be cordial or to work in a sense, or to like gel, they're all going to have to somewhat be able to get along. For the kids' sake, for David's sake, with his children, for his sake with his grandchildren, for her sake with her husband. Like, they just all need to be somewhat on the same page, cordial, be able to be in the same place at the same time without there being any blow-ups. And yeah, so I was glad that she went out there and talked to her, and I was also glad that they went out and had their own little, you know, sit down and getting to know a little bit more about each other. But I was just like, Annie and David are mad freaky. Like, those two, like, vagina ping pong? I never really heard any stories about women in Thailand, but I'm definitely going to do my research, because no, like, what? Beer, opening beer with, like, what? Like, they, those two, they, if they continue, she will definitely get that baby. All right, now the next couple that we're gonna be talking about is Azin and Nicole. So, all right, so they're getting ready to, you know, plan their wedding. They go over to Azin's people them, and she gets to see her mother-in-law, her sister-in-law, and they're also excited that Azin's getting married, and you know, they're so excited to see May, and Nicole's so excited for the wedding night and all the nights after, because she finally gets to dooga with Azin. Oh my gosh. And yeah, and so you can see that, like, his family, well, then again, I don't know, because people can put on a really good, like, a really good face sometimes. So, but I would honestly think that she, like, the family is genuinely happy for them. Like, I think that they like her, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they never expected, like, that's what Azin would go for, but I think that they're excited, they're happy, obviously, because if he gets his visa, he gets to go to America, maybe file for them eventually, and you know, they'll all be in America and not in Morocco or whatever, you know, depending, because some people actually love living in the countries that they're living in. Not everybody wants to come to America. But Nicole's mom comes down, girl, and let me tell you, but mommy came with all the hard questions, and I loved every second of it. I loved seeing Azin squirm. Like, when they went to pick her up at the airport, Azin was so freaking nervous, like his facial expression, I was dying, like I was dying. Oh my god, his hair was all out of place, like sweating. Like, it was so funny to see him squirm, because he has Nicole wrapped around his finger. So now the fact that somebody, what's her mom's name, Rob Lee? Oh my gosh. But she was like, you know, like, Nicole can tell me whatever Nicole wants to tell me. Asin can tell Nicole whatever he wants to tell Nicole, but I'm gonna be able to know if he really and truly is really, you know, about my daughter, because like my daughter's gonna be living here, my granddaughter's gonna be living here, and you know that girl loves, not girl, that lady loves me like with all her heart. So she wants to make sure that these kids are in the right hands, and I do not wrong her as a parent coming into it and, you know, questioning it, because you know what I'm saying. Yeah, yo, it was so awkward when she came in, like, to the airport, and she was hugging up me, and Nicole was just like, mom, like, you know, like, trying to get her attention, like, hello, like, Asin's here, you haven't said anything to Asin, you haven't addressed Asin, and like, maybe like 25,000 years later, she was like, oh, yeah, hi. But I was like, oh my God, they hug. That's so cute. That's so respectful. That's so nice, and whatever. And then, girl, she just gave it to him. She was just like, listen, okay? Listen, you had girls before with my daughter, okay? Like, I just want to make sure that all of that stuff stops, okay? Like, what are y'all doing in terms of work? What is the timeline? Because if y'all gonna be living here, you guys, even if y'all don't eat, y'all need to make sure that this little girl eats, because it's just not about y'all anymore. Like, there's a baby here, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people be thinking it's just like all like fun and games and jokes. Like, marriage is like a really serious thing, and you have a child involved, you're in a whole other country. Like, girl, you need to know what it is that you're doing. You cannot just be spending all your savings on this one day for a couple of hours when you know that you need to live after this. Like, you know what I mean? 1 year is a very long time in a foreign country that you're not used to. Everything is different. Like, her money might be able to stretch a little bit more depending on the currency and how all of that stuff works out. I don't really know. I don't know really too much about Moroccan currencies and stuff like that. I don't know, but and maybe it may not. So whatever savings it is that she has after she done spend everything on the wedding and refiling for the visa and stuff like that, who knows what she's gonna be left with. So he really does need to work. And when he said freelancing and just doing like a couple jobs like here and there and stuff, like, you guys need stability. You don't need to be 1 week working, 1 week off, 1 month working, couple months off. Like, no, you need Monday through Friday, Sunday to Sunday type job. Like, okay, yeah, okay. I can't wait to see like how everything like unfolds, especially like when the mom goes to meet the parent, like his family and stuff like that, and like they really get closer to like the wedding and stuff. Like, I really want to see how their whole situation like really plays out, because like it's serial now. All right, next couple, Pedro and Chantal. Pedro was my virgin, but I'm starting to look at him a little sideways. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole conversation that he had with his sister, in terms of like, you know, well, they already had the discussion, but like having it face to face now that she was here, I just don't like. I mean, like, granted, it's his sister, it's his sibling, it's his blood. But at the same time, like, you are living with, like, you married your wife. You chose this person to spend the rest of your life with. You took vows to, you know, be, like, take care of this woman. You get what I'm saying? So as much as, even if his sister is right about something, he still needs to make sure that his wife's feelings are, you know, like, taken into consideration. And, like, he's sticking up for her at the end of the day. Now, what upset me is when Chantal came back, and respectfully, when you walk into a household of people, or when you walk into a room of people, you're supposed to say, like, you're supposed to address the people that are there. Like, if there's one thing about me, like, there's manners. Like, you must have manners. If you walk into a room of people, whether it's one person, 50 people, say good night, good afternoon, good morning, hello, at least. You get what I'm saying? There was only 2 people in there. It was quiet as hell. She could have walked in and said, hi, good night, you know. But then you want to come and be like, oh, I need to talk to you. Like, okay, we get it. Everybody's upset, but, you know. And no, like, I don't care if she knew whether or not the girl was mad at her still or not. Like, the fact that you came in there, everybody knows that you were upset. You weren't here the night before, and you all of a sudden just want to talk to me. Like, there's still some attitude and animosity there, so that would have just made the situation worse. You get what I'm saying? I don't think she should have been apologizing in regards to what happened. She could have just simply apologized for how she reacted, because she never necessarily did anything wrong. Like, you told the girl where she's gonna sleep. She decided that that's not where she wanted to go. That's not your problem. That's his sister. You don't want to sleep where I'm making accommodating for you, then Pedro, your sister is not comfortable, so you need to make her comfortable. Okay, I've done what I'm supposed to do. Like, sorry, but I'm not kissing your ass. First of all, you know that it's rocky, whatever the case may be, but I'm not letting nobody run me out of my house. You're not gonna run me out of my house. Like, if I'm gonna leave, it's gonna be on my own terms. You're not running me out of my house. So I don't feel like she needed to apologize for the situation, because Pedro should have handled that. He should have nipped that in the bud. He should have told his sister, like, yo, this is where you're staying. Point blank, period. End of discussion. Like, next. Now, Pedro's sleeping in a hotel with his sister. Last week on my recap video, somebody commented and said that they believe that Pedro and his sister are not really siblings, and that is actually, you know, his woman. Because, I mean, as close as me and my brother are, I'm not sleeping with him. I mean, I can't even say that. I've slept with my brother, not like that. Like, you know what I mean? But in a, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, it just seems really, it seems really weird. Like, okay, like, I'll go to a hotel and I'll sleep with her. Why do you need to sleep? Like, you're married. Why do you need to sleep with your sister? You could just book a hotel room, have her go and stay there. You stay at home, and then you guys link up, pick her up in the day, have her Uber it. Why do you need to sleep with your sister? Like, as I said, I'm starting to look at Pedro sideways, because it's like none of this stuff is really adding up now. Now that the sister is here, it's like you don't care for Chantal. You just want to be solely with your sister, whom you speak with every day. So it's not like you don't get to see her face or talk to her, or, you know what I mean? So, and then what I don't get is Chantal doesn't like when her family reacts to Pedro or says stuff about him, and then she has to end up defending him. But it's like, girl, if you don't want your family to react about certain things, why do you keep going to them and keep why do you keep going to them and keep talking to them or telling them the stuff that you're going through? If you're gonna keep telling people negative things, obviously all they're going to see is negative. This is why I tell you guys,
do not speak to anybody about what's going on in your relationship.
You may have that one person that you can go to, that you can vent to or talk to, but make sure it's somebody who's trying to see you guys win. Somebody who's going to genuinely tell you the truth. Somebody who's going to say, no, you're wrong for this, or no, they're wrong for this. Not somebody who's just going to always be like, okay, no, girl, you need to leave that, or that's all bad. And especially if you guys are always telling people negative stuff about your spouse or the person that you're with, all that they're going to see when they see that person is negativity. Like, all they're going to see, that's all that they're going to see. So when you tell them the positive stuff, it's not gonna outweigh the bad. Like, you guys gotta be careful in regards to what it is that you're venting. Like, I tell people this all the time, because that is one thing that will really crush any friggin' relationship, is the people that you let come into it and the stuff that you listen. You cannot make anybody program you when it comes to the person that you love. Like, nobody knows anybody's relationship more than how you guys know it. Sometimes you're in a bad toxic relationship and it takes people from the outside to show you, but still at the end of the day, you gotta ride the wave and you gotta go through it yourself. You gotta make your own mistakes. It's your life. You have to live it. You have to learn from the mistakes that you're making. You get what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna experience this journey like you except you. So, like, yes, girl, you may have an issue. Go see a counselor. See somebody that you don't know, somebody who is immune or non-biased to the whole entire situation, and vent to them, and then, you know, get like some, not necessarily even expert, but some advice from somebody who doesn't know either you or Pedro, and can actually give you some, you know, good advice. Because, like, what, now your mom's ready to take off her rings and go fight this little girl over what? Because you started saying stuff, and now it's like, oh no, he's only like this when he's with his sister or when he's with his family. When he's not with them, he's the most amazing husband ever. Like, now you're making the man seem like he's bipolar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you had an attitude, like you played a part in it as well. Like, don't just make it seem like couple, Molly and Louise. Okay, so all right, Louise is gone, and Molly decides like she's gonna go call back Livy and tell her the great news that Louise is gone and now Livy wants to have dinner and come back around. Molly, you are the mother. There is no reason why you need to be calling your child and begging your child to come back into your life. Your daughter left on her own. Let her experience what life is on her own. I'm no parent, I don't know, but I can know from experience with my mother. Let her do what she needs to do, okay? She will know that you are her mom, and she will eventually need to come back to you, or she will need you for something, okay? Because who's to say this relationship that she has is going to last forever? She's gonna have to come back to her mom. She can't stay with the man if the man doesn't want her to, if they're not together. You get what I'm saying? But I don't feel like you should be using Louise, is the fact that Louise is gone, as a reason for you to now rekindle a relationship with your child. Like, no, because what if Louise wasn't gone? How are you gonna get back into a relationship with your daughter? I'll wait. Okay, so the whole divorce thing now, like, I learned some stuff because, like, you know what I'm saying, like, what if the love of my life is in another country? You know what I'm saying? So, and I want to bring them to Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta know these things and what I'm getting myself into and stuff like that. But I did not know that when you sign, what is it that she signed? The affidavit of support. Okay, this girl signed the affidavit of support, which means that she is now responsible for anything that Louise does. If Louise end up in a hospital, she responsible, right? If him go school and him owe money, she responsible. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not taking up that responsibility, and for 10 whole years me not take up that responsibility. What? No, like, I'm here like, this lady has a business, she has her kids, she has a house, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, she has so much to lose compared to what Louise has to gain. Like, this is what makes stuff so scary, because I always say, oh, I'll never do this, whatever, but I never know what will happen. You get what I'm saying? And you never necessarily know. It's hard to be like, you know, you have some of them where you can tell, like, okay, this is literally all that they want. But then you have some who are just super skilled in regards to making you feel like you are the most absolute best person you have that has ever come across them. You know what I mean? That they've ever met in their whole entire life. And it's just like, you lied? And now I'm responsible for you for 10 years while you're out here doing God knows what with God knows who? I feel so bad for her. God only knows what Louise can do, knowing that that he can stay here, because just because she files for divorce doesn't necessarily mean that his green card doesn't still get processed. You get what I'm saying? So she would still be stuck being responsible for him. Well, I don't really know after the divorce if she will still be responsible for him. There was a lot of legal talk, and you know what I'm saying? So but it's either the 10 years or until he goes back. Now, girl, what if he don't go back in 10 years? You know what I'm saying? So you're responsible still for him, like, afterwards? Like, somebody needs to explanation it to me. I don't really understand how that whole thing works. Somebody drop a comment down below, let me know, because, like, is it only while they're married, even still while they're divorced, up to the 10-year period, or until he returns back home? Like, how does this stuff work? And why doesn't the government want to pay for these people? Like, somebody explanation it to me in the comments down below, please. Thank you. Next couple, George and Anfisa. Girl, okay, George is the biggest idiot I've ever met in my whole entire life. I don't understand how this man really feels like, based off of everything that Anfisa has said to him since that they've rekindled or trying to work back on their marriage, and all that he got from everything is that money is the answer. Don't get me wrong, you obviously need money. Look at David and Annie's situation. But that is not what the girl's biggest concern is. The girl's biggest concern is that you are a liar and she cannot trust you. How do you feel like marriage is gonna fix that? Because you can buy her a bag when you fuck up, or you can buy her a bracelet when you lie? Like, that is not what she, yo, what is going on with these people? Like, honest to God, like, I'm so mad. Like, I'm so irritated because I watched the episode, like, I watch their scenes and I literally get super irritated. Like, I felt like the counselor. Like, I felt like if the counselor had permission, like, the counselor should have been able to slap the shit out of him. Because it's like, what are you not understanding? Like, is she speaking another language? Like, is she speaking Russian and you're not understanding exactly what it is that she's saying? Because I understand loud and clear, like, what she wants from you. You get what I'm saying? And for him to be like, oh, the counseling, it's not really working. He's just asking me, like, the same questions over and over and over again. Like, no, George, it's not even a question to ask if George is stupid. Like, he's stupid. He's stupid. And then for you to now apparently have a 10-year-old daughter that you are denying. On Anfisa's part, she's silly for not, I mean, as a woman, I get it, because, you know, you definitely have some bitter exes who will say anything or do anything to try to keep a man or to try not to make him move on into another relationship. So of course a bitter ex could have been like, oh well, he's the father of my child, or whatever the case may be, knowing that she got into a new relationship or whatever. But I still would have gone into that with caution. Not saying with caution just because he has a child, but the fact that he has a child that he's not that he's denying. Because if I'm about to be in a relationship with you and things don't go right, you're gonna start denying my child, which is a point that Anfisa made. But that is how I would have looked at the situation from the beginning, and I would have been like, okay, no, pause, let's really go figure this out, if this is your child or not. Because if it is, you're gonna have to take responsibility of it, because I'm not about to be with no man who's gonna be a deadbeat, or be with no man who's gonna take responsibility of my kids and not take responsibility of his other children. Because my kids are gonna know all of their siblings, whether this is a blended family, or whether they have multiple, like, they're, I don't know, whatever, they have kids, they have siblings from their father, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna have a relationship with their siblings, whatever the situation may be. So no, like, I'm not playing that. You get what I'm saying? So her knowing this and then getting more messages about it, like, I would have been like, you know what, girl, let's meet up. Okay, let's meet up, let's do a DNA test. I sleep with him every night. I can swab his mouth, because I'm pretty sure that man sleeps with his mouth open. I can swab his mouth, I can take some hair, we can go do a DNA test, and we can find out the results. Like, let's find this out together. I'm gonna be that wife. Yeah, I'm gonna be that wife. Yeah, he's just way too shallow, way too, like, slow, stupid, ignorant, sick. Like, he makes me sick. Like, he just everything about him, he just irritates me. Like, I can't believe once upon a time, like, I really felt sorry for this man. And even if the allegations aren't true, just as a man, like, that would be something that I would want to know. You get what I'm saying? Like, a daughter and a father, like, a daughter needs her dad. Nobody can tell me anything. Like, she needs to know a man, and she needs to know that there's always going to be a man other than somebody else that is always going to be there to love, guide, and protect her. You get what I'm saying? Like, I am team daddy's girl all day long. Nobody can tell me nothing about my daddy. Like, nothing. Nobody can tell me nothing about my father, okay? Like, I will always be a daddy's girl. I will run to jump and sit in my dad's lap. As big as I am, as old as I may be, I will always, even if when he's frail and gray, like, I will be that one, okay? So for the fact, knowing that he has a daughter and he's not even trying to see if that is actually his child, like, that makes it even worse. Like, because I know he ain't trying to do no, he's just denying it. You get what I'm saying? So they need to figure that issue out and get that shit together. But as I said, if I was Anfisa, I would be hollering at that girl, and I'll be getting that DNA test done myself. Now, lastly, what's her name again? Russ and Paula. Pretty much the only thing that really got to me from them this episode was when she was sitting down and she was talking about the whole miscarriage thing. Like, I actually started feeling for her again. Like, those things are just really, you know, sensitive to me and stuff. So she comes back from Colombia and she's with her friend Jenny, and they're talking about the whole miscarriage thing, and she was just expressing how she feels like Russ isn't there for her. And even before like the whole conversation got finished, I was just saying to myself, I was like, this is a conversation that you should be having with your husband. Like, if you are feeling like he is not being sensitive to your feelings, or if he's not asking you enough questions, how do you expect him to know if you don't express that to him? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's some guys who are more emotional and in tune with women's feelings, and then there's other guys who just aren't, or just don't know how to go about the situation. And for it to be a touchy situation, like you lost the whole child, maybe he really doesn't know if you're at that point yet where he can come to you and talk to you and ask you questions about it. Maybe he's waiting for you to come to him and address him and make sure he knows, like, I'm ready to talk about it. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a death, it's a loss. Like, that's a big loss. That's something inside of you. It's so different for him because he wasn't carrying the child. You know what I mean? So you had to go through the process. Maybe he's like, maybe she's not over it, plus the stuff that's going on with your grandmother. He just probably thinks like it's a lot, like she doesn't really want to, you know, talk about it. And now I'm thinking about it, and the fact that she said that they lost the baby right before they went to Colombia, now I'm looking at it and I'm just like, okay, it kind of makes sense why he was like carrying on the way that he was to Juan, and all of that, the way that he was carrying on in Colombia. I mean, I know he's uptight already and whatever, but it makes sense more as to why he was lashing out more and stuff like that, and why he was saying, you know, let's be here for Paula or whatever, because she's been going through a lot. And the fact that this girl does not stick up for her husband, and like, you know, he's going through the motions too. Like, I'm more upset now that I'm really sitting here thinking about it and I'm in my feelings. I'm really upset now. But I feel like sometimes you just have to tell guys, like, hey, I'm hurting. Like, can you ask me about this? Like, you know, just tell him, like, that's your husband, you know what I mean? And he could be going through stuff as well and being like, I wonder how come she hasn't asked me, like, how I'm feeling about the whole situation, or whatever the case may be. Like, that is definitely a situation, a conversation that they need to have, and make sure that they both know that they can go to each other and talk to each other about it if they both are at that place where they're able to talk about it. She obviously still can't really talk about it or comprehend the whole situation because she's talking to the cameras and she's crying about it, you know what I mean? So even in herself, you can obviously tell she's not ready to talk about it, and it's a miscarriage. Granted, she has all the time in the world to take out for herself to go ahead and think about it and be in her feelings, like she's entitled to that. But oh my god, when she broke down saying that, like, she feels so guilty and she feels like it's her fault, like, you never know that having a specific blood type or having a certain type of disease or having something is gonna affect you getting pregnant. Like, every woman just wants to ultimately find somebody, start a family. I mean, most women, there's women out there who don't want to have kids or whatever, but you know, for the ones that do, and it becomes like a difficult situation, it's like, oh my god, like, or being the one in a relationship to know that you're not able to do something when it comes to being able to have kids. It's like, oh my god, like, why does this have to be me type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So I get it, but I don't think she should be so hard on herself, because, you know, like, everything happens for a reason. Maybe the pregnancy could have lasted and something else would have happened, or it could have gotten a lot further. I don't really know exactly how far along she was, but she could have made it down near her full term and something happened to the baby then, and that would have been way harder to handle. So, you know what I mean? Like, everything happens for a reason. Every disappointment, they say, is a blessing in disguise. So yeah, I just hope that she gets to fix whatever the issue is, or take the shot that she needs to get, and they go and they figure that whole situation out, because you can obviously tell that she really wants to have a baby. And I know Russ obviously loves Paula. He loves his Paula, and I think they would be cute parents and they would have the cutest little baby. So I'm rooting for them. As much as she's been irritating me this season, I'm back on Team Paula. But yeah, that is my recap for this week, you guys. I'm sorry I wasn't as animated as I normally am. Pardon me, I'm still sick, but I did not want to hold out on this video any longer because I'm sticking to it until the end of the season. So you guys, pray for me. If this is your first time watching one of my recaps or coming to my channel, please subscribe. If you are already subscribed and you're returning, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss another video from me. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share it to other people who maybe did not get to see the episode, or just want to watch the recap so they don't have to watch the entire episode. And also leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I loved having my conversations last week. Like, there was so many conversations last week, and that's what I love. I live for the comments. And yeah, and I'll join you guys in the comment section and let you talk with you guys on how you guys are feeling about the episode and the season so far. And yeah, I'll see you guys in next week's episode. Thanks again for stopping by. I love you guys.